We are live, man. Got the new background up. It's looking good. Welcome back to the quest. I'm your host, Andy Kaysen. Tonight we have a special guest. You guys may know him as Costa Rica Card Collector, but I have come to know him as Thomas. Very excited to have him on. His stuff has recently been featured on Baseball Card Collector Investor Dealer. He's doing some really interesting stuff in the card space. And so we're going to parlay from that to getting to know a little bit about Thomas, to a live look into Starstock. We've got eBay pulled up. We've got ComC pulled up. We've got NFL.com, and we've got Player Profiler pulled up. We're going to do some live price analysis and some buying based on your input and Thomas's input. We're also going to be monitoring the chat, guys. So welcome in. Go ahead and leave your comments in the chat. If you're not watching this live, please leave us a comment and let us know what you thought about the live stream. I want to give some shout out to a few new subscribers in the community tonight. And I also want to do a big, well, not big. It's a value pack of contenders and a fat pack of Donruss tonight. I want to give these away by the end of the live stream. All right, with that, let's dig in. Thomas,
how you doing, buddy?
I'm hearing myself repeat. It sounds like there's a little echo coming in on the audio.
Got an echo back there. I'm sorry about that. Let me get that echo off.
Thomas, how you doing,
buddy? How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that. How's everybody doing tonight?
You're coming in crystal clear now.
Perfect.
So, are you in Costa Rica?
I live in Costa Rica. Yeah, I moved down here about 15 years ago. Been working down here, just living down here, collecting now. Having a really good time down here. Costa Rica is a beautiful country, but we're not here to talk about Costa Rica. We're here to talk about football cards. So
I just thought maybe we get the ocean or some palm trees in the background. No, but
I'm in the Central Valley. I actually live right next to a volcano, guys.
Wow. Do you feel concerned about the volcano at all, or is it dormant?
Nah, we're dormant. The volcano's dormant, so we're okay here in the Central Valley. It did erupt about 3 years ago, but nothing too major.
Now, tell us a little bit about, I want to know a little bit about your background in cards. When did you first start investing and collecting in cards?
Started collecting cards when I was in my 20s. Of course, when I was young, I've always collected cards with my father. But I was about 20 years old, 1996, right around that time. Kobe Bryant came out. I started collecting Kobe Bryant cards. From then, it just took off. Collected for about 15 years. Moved here in about 2004. Still collected a little bit. Stopped after that. Just recently started collecting about a year and a half ago. Started collecting pretty heavily again and started getting back into the just like everybody else. We're all sitting at home. My wife got laid off from work. I was the one working, watching everybody open up packs and stuff. I got back into the hobby. It was something really cool. Something I always liked to do. I've always been an artist and a painter. I love to paint.
That's cool.
When I came down here, I was painting quite a bit. When I lived in Florida, I was a mural artist, a Trompe l'oeil artist. But when I came down here, one of my favorite things to do was starting to paint again. Got back into painting and recently started to paint a lot of murals and a lot of stuff. You can actually see some of the stuff in the background here. Some baseball cards and stuff for the community and some people in the community. So really enjoy doing that. Enjoy collecting football cards, baseball cards, basketball cards, you name it. I got a lot of information on that and ready to talk. Brian, got some guys here, Bama, guys I see you in the chat. Nice to see you guys. Man.
Shout out to Raven Invest. That's Sean over there. I look forward to collabing with him in the future. He's a new YouTuber doing some very like-minded stuff as myself, and I'm very excited about that. And yeah, Michael Ham in the house. What's up? My fellow tampon there, JJ Bama. He's another transplant, but he didn't move to Costa Rica. He moved to Alabama. Brian Kingsley in the house. Chris Davison, what's going on, man? So tell me about that those pictures in the background. You're saying you painted those?
Yeah, so actually I pull up, let me pull one up here. This one here that I just recently did, and see how it shows up. I might show up pretty good for the camera. Bring it down a little bit.
Let me see.
What we got there is the Ronald Acuna Jr. So what? Working on that with just using the baseball card. Change the background, of course. Try to angle that right, guys. Sorry about that. And I love to paint, guys. I do a high detail. I've always been a professional artist all my life, but working on an iPad really gives me the ability to do some really soft and subtle finishes there. And another one that I've actually just did here recently for a friend in our community, Brad, the Comeback Card Collector.
Check it out, y'all.
Check that out. I did that one for him. That one is a really cool one. Got the nice. Champagne of sets.
The champagne of sets. I love it.
That is pretty darn awesome.
The champagne of sets.
No, I like Ronald Acuna Jr. There's another Ronald Acuna Jr. I did. Really enjoyed doing things. Here's another one I did for another member in the community. Rad Dad and B-Dog. And of course that Mark McGuire behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Mark McGuire's. You should pull it down off the wall. I have it on the wall right now. I did that one with the Costa Rican background and the bird on there too. So really, really enjoyed doing those, guys.
That's my dad's. He asks me every week. He's like, "You still got that Mark McGuire?" Because he knows I'm into the investing and flipping side of it. And I'm like, Dad, it's really not worth that much. Not graded. You know, it looks like it's in good conditions. It's in 5 pounds of plastic. But yeah,
yeah, one of those.
Got it.
I hear you on that. Yeah, I have one of mine too, and in a 4-layer screw down. Yeah.
So a couple more people join the house. New collector, Connor May, Quest. No, I'm not from Chicago. I'm born and raised here in Tampa, Florida. Still here, brother. So JJ Bama, Raven wants to know if PSA slabs can withstand lava. Talking about your volcano that you live next to.
I don't think so.
Malone Money Mindset in the house now. Now you and I were talking a little bit.
Shout out to Malone. I know Malone.
Yeah, and so you and I were talking a little bit before the show here, and you mentioned to me that you have a pretty extensive background. You play all fantasy sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, football. But you said primarily you're a football and basketball card investor and collector.
I in the beginning, yes. Recently, I've been collecting a lot of baseball. Just recently, I'd like Ronald Acuna Jr. My wife's last name is Acuna. That's one of the reasons. But
really,
in the beginning, yes. In the beginning, I was solely football, and that's all. I grew up in Miami. Watched Miami. I watched. Dan Marino play. I have Dan Marino card. I pulled it from a pack on a store on US 1 in Miami, Florida. It was one experience I never always remember in my life. I sent the card in to grade. I got to send it to BGS. Was one of the first cards that I got graded. It came back an 8. Fantastic card. I still have it here in my collection today. Nice. It's one of the things that set me into collecting. Besides the Kobe Bryant, that Dan Marino card, the Ionic card is something that I've always looked at, always sought after. Just like the Mark McGuire, just like the Ken Griffey Jr. It's something that puts you into collecting. You have that card. Something. God, I still remember pulling it out of the pack. There was only one pack left in the box, and the guy kept leading me to the box like, "It's only $35. It's the last pack." And geez, when you're paying $35 for a pack at that time He's like, there's going to be a good card in there. And you know, he kind of guaranteed me that Marino was going to come out of there, and I got it. So it was like,
Wow.
maybe one of my best
man.
pulls of my life, besides opening up a bunch of these Topps basketball Topps Chrome and getting a lot of Kobe Bryants out of them. But I got a gold Kobe Bryant out of one of the Topps Chrome boxes I opened back in '96.
Did you see which card I put for you? Because there's a card I recently saw in one of your videos, and it's a card that I recently talked about as being an iconic card. I mean, mega iconic card from prior to the junk wax era, and it was the '86 Topps Jerry Rice.
I got it right here.
How'd you get that bad boy?
I got to thank a couple of our guys here in the community, especially Brad and Ziggy, getting me in on Comp C.
Okay.
And what I do with Comp C, probably just like most of the other players do. Guys, if you open up packs and anybody's got a bunch of cards that you may have laying around that you may not, you may not PC. Here's a great card here of a green Prism, George Kittle. I'm not a George Kittle collector. Somebody will take that George Kittle card, and over at Comp C, you can dump your cards. What did I do? I didn't do my dumping in Comp C to get rid of my cards to make profit. I did it to bring cards back home. So I bring this card back home. I bring a LeBron James back home. I bring what else? That other card. I bring home.
I didn't even follow basketball, and I know LeBron James is good.
Yeah, I bring a couple other cards home. I bring home this card here too. I just wanted to have this card. I didn't get it. I think that if Bo Bichette's going to be a great player, he's going to be a great player. Hopefully he stays healthy. That's going to be a next Ionic card. Like this. This is an Ionic card right here.
Ricky Henderson?
Yeah, I bought that when I came back into collecting. I got that for less than $100, you guys.
I remember Ricky from a kid. What grade was that Jerry Rice?
That's a 6, guys. Let me find it again here.
Okay. While you're finding that, I'm going to throw up this question from Gabriel Torres, and this is a perfect parlay into the next question I wanted to ask you, Thomas. And that is, you explained to me something before we got on I found was very interesting, and that's your buy one get one free theory or process when you're looking to invest in a card. I want you to explain that because I think this will kind of answer Gabriel's question here.
Absolutely. Guys, I am a frugal collector. I don't have big pockets, right? Here's what I do. I always have the idea of buying 2 cards and selling one later on down the line and having that one card pay for the one I'm going to keep. Perfect example here. This Frank Gore I picked up. I bought 2. Bought the SPX rookie autograph one. And I bought this one. This one, I don't even know prices, guys. I'm not really thinking too much about prices. But I sold the SPX autograph one, and it paid for this one. So this one's in my collection for free. Nice. It's not a very valuable card, but he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And me living in Miami, following the Miami Hurricanes, it's a player that I really like. It's a player I collect. I like to collect players that I like. It keeps me healthy in the hobby. Keeps me going in the hobby. I can't put money out on 25 players. I can buy a couple players every year. That's how I've always gone that way. So buying 2 cards, selling one to keep one in the end. And hey, if I didn't like this card in the end, I can always end up selling it and making some profit, or selling both and making profit, or selling both and buying another card.
Would you say it's safe to say, so just to say hypothetically, if your bankroll was $1,000 and that's all the money that you had to invest in sports cards, are you if you're spending all $1,000 and say you make $2,000 back from that in profit, and you kept some cards for your personal collection like you're talking about here, are you taking all $2,000 and reinvesting it back into sports cards, or what are you doing?
You should. you should, but I don't. I like my collection. I got a lot of cards behind me too, guys. I could show you a bunch of cards. I like to collect cards. Here, let me show you another card here, just to pull out another card.
So I mean, you really kind of identify with what I talked about in one of my recent videos, and that's the pure collector. Someone, because you're an artist, you know, you've been an artist for a very long time, pretty much sounds like your entire life. I kind of think that artistic ability to paint and draw like you do is got to be kind of built into you. You know, it's in your DNA, it's in your blood. It's like an innate talent that you have. And that appreciation for art, do you think that carries over into your appreciation for the card in sports cards more so even than the player?
Yeah, here, I'll throw the Jerry Rice back up there. Look at that card, you guys. That is so beautiful. The way that art and cards going kind of in one for me. I always like to take some of my money and reinvest, but most of the time I will take, how we would say, at least 50% of the money if I make and put it back into getting cards. Guys, here's a card that I bought. Now, I know you're a football guy, but here's a basketball card that I think is going to be an ionic card coming up here pretty soon. Bosch just got elected for the Hall of Fame. We know Wade and LeBron are going to be a shoe-in. This is the M3 card from Topps. That's a great card, guys, for a pickup. I don't know the price on this card right now. I bought this last year when I got into collecting. As soon as I got back into collecting, I started to scour and look for cards that I thought, wow, I got to have that card. I got to have that card. I got to have that card. Kind of like, you know, like the Ionic card there, or the Dan Marino. I don't even know if I have the Dan Marino with me here in front of me.
You know, a card that I've seen jump in the last couple weeks, and I happened to buy because I saw it on ComC, and I sold some cards on there, and I saw the 1989 supplemental score, purple border, Bo Jackson with the baseball bat and the shoulder pads with his shirt off and stuff. And they're like all sold out now. I couldn't believe it. I already doubled my money on that within the last 9 days. It was crazy.
On ComC too, I had some Barry Bonds cards like set aside when I was going to bring home, and that's how I bring home the Jerry Rice and some other cards, is because everything went from modern to vintage at that time, and everything shifted. Barry Bonds cards tripled in price. There was Barry Sanders cards tripled in price. I had some Barry Sanders that I wanted to bring home. His Topps traded. PSA 9 went to like $150. It was crazy. Just recently, everything looks like it's shifting back from vintage and coming back towards modern. And we can see some cards in modern starting to go back up. Basketball starting to look like it's recovering, and some prices starting to go back into basketball. But crazy. The prices of some of the things right now.
Personally, because of how bullish the market is and how many.
Hey Ziggy, how you doing, big guy?
Football, I'm reinvesting everything back into plus into football cards right now. And so yeah, happy to see Ziggy back on the airwaves. Shout out to you, brother. Good to see
Ziggy's
you
a great guy.
Shout out to Adrian. So that brings me to my next question for you, and let's kind of bring it back to modern day here, because what you told me before we jumped on here, I'm a little jealous, man. I'm a little jealous because I didn't do so good in fantasy football last year, but I did good in football cards. But I didn't have a very good run in season-long fan. Now I did pretty good in daily fantasy. I made a few $100s. I won, placed pretty decent in some tournaments. But you were telling me before we came online, you've been playing fantasy football for how long now?
Ooh, about 15 years. I started playing fantasy football. Well, before then, in Miami, I was playing fantasy football, but just the free leagues and CBS and stuff like that. But when I came down here, there was a group of Americans, and we started to play in a pay league. First year, I didn't do very good. I finished in 4th, but I'm a numbers guy. So I like to push numbers. And I started really pushing numbers. We started to implement things like point for receiver, kickoff return person started to get yards. So I started looking for those players that may get an extra point here, an extra point here for a reception and stuff like that. And I won the league 6 the 6 years following, they kicked me out after that. I wasn't able to play anymore. I found a couple other in a row. Around 6 years in a row was a pay league. The payoff was like $2,000 for first place, and that money came in really good hand for me and my family. So
Wow.
they started to drop the money down year after year. So I think by the time I got out, it was like about $1,000 because we didn't have many members and we weren't paying as much to get into the league. But when you're paying money to get into a league to do something, you really are putting a lot of research into it. And, you know, finding the key player or the player that's going to score more than the next player was Danny Amendola. I picked Danny Amendola as my last wide receiver as the draft pick. And everybody's laughing at me. What did you pick Danny Amendola for? And I says, guys, he's going to be the #1 wide receiver this year in our fantasy league, and I'm going to win the league because of it. And I did.
Wow.
And I predicted it, and I rubbed their noses in it the following year at the draft. So,
but then you won again.
And then I won again. And I won again after that. And they started to change the rules to try and keep me out, to not let me win. But I started to go after running back. Was fun. I'll tell you, it was really fun, man. I get a lot of energy off of that. So
yeah, that's cool. That's
just
cool.
like with Starstock. It's so fun doing things in Starstock. It's so fun.
You obviously collected big time right in the 90s. You got back in a year and a half. So it sounds like you got back in before the big boom happened in March of 2020, you know, COVID timeframe. Were you using any of your fantasy football knowledge to make football card investments? And if so, what do you feel carried over the most? And what do you feel like didn't carry over?
I think that there's a big carryover there. When you play fantasy football or any type of fantasy sports, you're always on top of the key player, the player with the hype around him. The guy that everybody's going to chase. Like, who was it last year? We had Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert for football. This year, I think it's going to be Terrence Lawrence. So as you're looking for that player, say one gets hurt, right? Who's the next man up? For fantasy football, is this like we go and hit the waiver wires? It would be the same thing as, you know, for investing. One guy goes down, you go and get the next player. Of course, most of the people know that. But is that next player actually going to be an investment for you? Like during a football season, I think that we had Saquon Barkley go down and another player go down. Pretty amazing. The prices, how they drop. And then the hype of the prices going up at the beginning. So something that we always have to be careful about when you are investing and when you're using fantasy football, you have to stay on top of it. At any point, the player could crash. So, and Ziggy had a question there. It looked like a good question.
Very true. Very true. At any point, the player can crash. And I guess the big point there is like Saquon Barkley goes down. Say you're holding his rookie cards. Well, at that point, you have a decision to make. You can either sell immediately and maybe take out some profit if you bought in at a good time, or you got to hold on. But that's the beauty of sports cards. You can always hold on to it, you know. And like he's going to come back. And the thing is, Saquon Barkley is only 24 years old. I mean, he's got a lot of time left now. He has had a couple major injuries, but he's going to come back and there's going to be hype, right?
Absolutely. That was a fluke injury, Andy. I think he's going to be a great player still to come, and McCafferty too. So those cards will recover. Absolutely.
Were you buying Wayne Gallman's rookie cards being Saquon Barkley's backup and knowing he was going to get, you know, 15 fantasy points a week, being in a, you know, fairly high powered offense there in New York? Or is that where you stay away?
Think you got to kind of, well, it's depends. Now, if you really like Saquon Barkley, I think that you got to stay with the card. But if you don't like the player, I think that that's when you got to go. Take your losses and go if you're taking a loss at that time. Most of the time, if you're buying these cards before the season. So you have a point where, like Brad always says, comeback card collector. If you do your research and you're buying the card at its low, you have that risk built in where you could sell the card on the way up and get out before that injury. Brad's here right now. Check him out.
He's cooking dinner. He's
cooking dinner. Brad, look, I got something here. I bring it out just for you. I got the bread. I don't have baklava, but I got bread pudding. Okay, homemade bread pudding. Okay, and I just had a prop just for you. Okay.
Just to be clear, guys, he does have a beer as well. So I didn't forget about what we do here on the quest. But no,
I got a Lagata. Cool, all right. It's a local beer, one of our best beers.
PSA 7, Brad cooking his PSA 7 dinner. It's probably like pasta and some red sauce and probably
raw cashews.
Raw cashews. And yeah, this is, PSA 7 dinner.
Gotta love Brad though.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's a good man. So what's up, Kino Moss? Kino Moss in the house. Shout out to him. He's a new subscriber in the community. Dude's got an incredible memorabilia collection, but he's a good man. Sent me a mega box of contenders. We're gonna be ripping here in the next video. Excited to see what we found in there. But he's been giving me a lot of great feedback, ideas. You guys have questions, ideas, comments, thoughts on where we're taking the channel, thoughts on what we do here, please leave it in the comments, leave it in the live chat. I definitely, we're all in the same boat here. We're all in the same quest. And so the direction of this channel, the community, everything is driven by all of us. I kind of like, Starstock in that regard, it's driven by the feedback from the end user.
Yeah, Starstock's a great platform. If you're in Starstock, you got to be on CompC too at the same time. But
did you notice really what they just added? So I'm gonna pull it up right now because they just added something very small. It's something very, very kind of small, but it is I think very effective, and it's something that I've been wanting them to do to kind of differentiate. Do you know what it is, Thomas?
Well, there's a section there on the home page there. They give you actually a pretty good heads up on bargains under $100. Is that the one you're talking about?
That's a great new feature. Let's actually look at that real quick. These hot deals. But it's this right here. See how they added this little PSA? It's really just a graphic. It's not the actual slab the card's in, right? Because there's no grade or any of the other information.
I did see that. Yeah, the little PSA slab over the top. I seen that yesterday showing up on my cards. Yeah.
But it's just something like I always thought that was something that they needed to add, and I'm glad they added, because it's like, with them not having actual images of the card, we need something to send that message to our brain that this card's in a slab, and with us, a lot of people not taking physical possessions of their cards, it's really nice to have that, it's just like it's like a little psychological trick or psychological reinforcement.
I'm looking at a comment there from JJ. I've been waiting 7 weeks. He's been waiting to get the cards in the Starstock account. I was about at 7 weeks, and then right after that, I got them loaded in. So it looks like it's about between 6 and 8 weeks right now that they're getting loaded in. I talked to a couple guys over there. They are backed up right now. They're trying to get that all, worked out. They actually hired some extra people, and the cards should be loading up sooner. But I haven't been sending as much. I've been actually just buying cards on Starstock. You can actually find some deals on Starstock compared to prices on eBay right now. If you're looking, you got to look.
All right. Well, I've got $120 in my account, Thomas, and I'll show you recently what I've sold. Just Starstock B, base, Jalen Reagor, 50 cents. But there's been a lot of hype around Kenny Golladay being released from the Lions. He's a free agent. And so there's a lot of hype around where he's going to go. He struggled with some injuries, but this guy's got a really good athletic profile. He's still pretty young. And you can see his cards are going up, and I've been selling some of those for for nice. And Allen Robinson, another big free agent that's very likely to make a move from
Absolutely.
the Bears. So
He's a great receiver, and think he hasn't had a quarterback to throw him the ball. So,
yeah.
I mean, just think if he's in a better system, what he could do.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Blake Bortles was throwing him balls, and him and the other receiver, they had 1,000 yards receiving both together that one year. Can't remember the other player that was playing with him.
Oh no, that was because his rookie year was in Jacksonville. Yeah, he started out in Jacksonville, and he was
started out in Jacksonville.
Yeah, Blaine Bortles was his his quarterback there. All
right.
If
he was, think about that, right? Bortles was his quarterback, so.
I know, yeah, Bortles, and then he had Trubisky.
Poor guy. Nothing against those quarterbacks, guys, and nothing against those systems, but.
All right, Thomas. So who do you think I should buy right now?
I was looking today. There's a couple sneaky picks in there, and Davante Adams, his price of this card went down quite a bit recently. I seen it sold, I think, at $18 recently.
Really?
And it was at $40 during the season. And there's also an orange refractor in there, but I don't know, at $18, you could look at it and it looks like if you get the chart up, it's going down from 18 also. If you could pull him up.
So Davante is a 2014 rookie, and that 2014 set, what's the card that you're going to first?
Well, I was looking at that Prism right there, that first one.
This one right here, the base Prism?
Yeah, it says 18. But the chart, you go look at the chart. I mean, it was at 40 just recently, too. Of course, we're not in football season now, but that card's definitely going to go back up next year. And then if you can look at the regular tops, looks quite low, too, also in comparison.
Yeah, so this, you know what's funny is someone commented on a video of mine from back before the season. It was actually a video where David Hunter sent me a package, and I had done a big Beckett Marketplace mail day, and the Davante Adams Prism rookie card that I ended up getting the Starstock A off of was in there. And I showed what I paid for that card in that video. I paid $1.25 for it. Ended up selling it on Starstock as a Starstock A here down the stretch, like all the way into the playoffs, all the way up to the championship game, I think almost, for $50.
Wow.
So talk about an ROI on that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was let me go back to Starstock. I was trying to find who had commented that on that. It was an old video, but you're right. I mean, you can see the chart here. They spiked at the beginning of the season, right? And then they spiked here in the playoffs when they made it to the championship game.
Look, what's funny is look at the prices of the Bs just in the last couple of weeks have started to go up.
It's starting to go up.
That's weird.
So have you noticed that, I mean, football cards as a whole are trending upwards right now?
Yeah, but look at that. That's somebody just paid $15 for a B, and we have an $18 sale on an A. So I think
22. Yeah, that was a bad B purchase right there.
That was a bad purchase, or like somebody hit the button by accident, and that's actually happened to probably quite a few of us.
Or somebody had the 2250 offer in the system for the Starstock A, and then one of these random sellers just accepted it.
Crazy, huh?
Maybe they were like me and they held it for 6 months. They bought it for $1 and they're like, go ahead and cash in.
Somebody overpaid for a B.
What about this PSA 7 for $24.99?
That's pretty cheap. But
PSA 7, but I mean, at a PSA 7, is that something that you would consider and maybe like crack open and try and regrade or
I mean, if you're a collector and you collect him and you want to put him in your PC, you buy the card, not the grade, right? Like I bought the Jerry Rice in a 6, or I didn't buy it, but I bring it home in a 6. I didn't really care about the grade, so there's some. I mean, look at the price of the Prisms at $45.
Yeah, the Topps Chrome 22, $45. But let's So
I
that's
think that that's the one right there. The Topps Chrome versus the Prism. The Chrome's at 18. I think that's such a good deal.
the Topps Chrome at 18.
I think that's a great deal. Yeah.
All right. So what I do as part of my process, I'm not sure if you do this, Thomas, but this is something that I do is I have eBay open in the same window and or not the
Yes.
same window, obviously, right? The same browser, and I'll go over to eBay and search 2014 um, Topps Chrome Devontae Adams and see what we get.
They should be selling cheaper on eBay. You would think, right?
You would think, but I always take into consideration the shipping and the fact that I have probably a 50 to 60% chance that I'm going to get a Starstock B.
Yeah, it's going to
Compared to the A.
More than likely it'll be a B.
But I look at things like this one's in a one touch, $11.99 or best offer, and he's got 4 available. He's got 4 available, so with the fact that it's in a one touch. Now the pictures aren't great, right? I mean, like that's a really tough picture. It's one of those I can't even zoom in on. So that makes it tough. So this is a situation where I might ask for additional pictures, but $11.99 plus, or you could get them for $11.39 plus only $2.99 shipping, with 100% positive feedback.
Yeah, about $15 in.
About $15 in. That's lower than the A, but a little bit higher than the B. So in this situation, do you feel more comfortable if you said you had $100 and you were dead set, you noticed that there was across the board a dip in Devontae Adams prices, which I am seeing a little dip here. I don't think it's not a crazy dip, but there shouldn't be a crazy dip for a guy who's going to be a Hall of Famer, but a dip nonetheless. And would you, if you had $100 to invest, would you go and try and buy, let's say, 7 of these Topps Chrome base rookie cards, or would you try and find an RPA? Maybe I don't think you'll be able to find a National Treasures RPA, but maybe an RPA of one of the lesser sets, or kind of what's your strategy there?
That's a good question. Like one higher end card versus 6 or 7 lower end cards. I take the gamble of taking these 6 or 7 cards and having more in my hands and have the chance of those cards going up and being worth more, and selling them as a lot and making the same amount of money that you would maybe make off of selling one card. That would be my angle. Like for this card being at $11 and seeing that they're selling for 18, I may put the offer in on Starstock at around $14 or $15 to see if the seller would take the offer there. And you're pulling up the Prism right now to see what the prices are in the Prism.
Yeah, just kind of comparing, getting my feel for Devontae Adams, and I go through this with every player. I'm in the process of some updates I want to talk about tonight to my website, to the investment tool that I've created through Google Sheets, and correlating all of these guys with their athletic profile and their rookie card prices. I go through every single one of these guys' price on eBay and Starstock and compare them. And I haven't looked at Devontae in a while, so I'm just kind of getting my feel for what his cards are trading at right now,
I hear you there. I got to see JJ's message there that Colin Sexton. I really liked Colin Sexton too, JJ, earlier in the year. I was actually investing in him. Andy, I don't know on the call here with the Devontae Adams. I know that Topps Chrome, if you go back to the graph on Starstock, it looks like it's going down from 18. So maybe the Prism at 22 or I think it was at 30, the Prism might be a better buy right now. Like 3 Prisms. Prism's the first card that usually sells anyways.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I think that the Topps Chrome, so 2014 to me, because they didn't have an optic, right? 2014 doesn't even have a Donruss rated rookie. So your options are the Prism, the Topps Chrome. They actually have a Bowman Chrome. I think those are your three best bets.
I'd have to say Topps over Bowman. They're both Topps is usually the better brand. Well, they're both the same company, but
the Topps Chrome is very popular. I will say I've found that it's highly liquidatable in these years, these 2013, 2014, even 2015, and they seem to grade pretty well. They seem to be an easier grade. What you
yeah,
agree with that?
Topps Chrome always grades well. Yeah, I usually get good grades with Topps Chrome. That if you go down a little bit lower, I was actually looking at that orange refractor at 38. Can you imagine putting in an offer and getting that card? That's actually pretty nice. The contrast with the background.
See if I can find it here. Did I already pass it?
It's right there.
Ah,
Yeah, you
there it
just
is.
passed it up.
So that's a pretty scarce card. I mean, it's not. So
But
in
always
terms
everybody
of,
grabs that first card. That orange, that's a pretty card,
yeah,
that orange refractor.
yeah, three in the vault, so it's definitely got some scarcity around it. Let's see if I can find it on eBay. Let's see. We go here. Stop screen. I'll pop back over into the live chat here in a second, guys. We're done with this exercise here. But I think this is important because this is essentially the process that we go through when, you know, deciding which card we're going to buy. So you got some pretty good deals on eBay for this card, Thomas. They
Look at
got this
that.
little lot right there for 28. It's 4. Now, do you feel that the green refractor would have more demand because it matches kind of the Green Bay uniforms over the orange?
That's a nice call. The green. I like the contrast with the orange. That's actually pretty good price at 29. You got to think when they were putting those in, the orange, the green, whatever, the same, how you say, print run on those are probably going to be the same. So the green with the green looks really nice.
Yeah, they're not serial numbered, so it's just basically a short print parallel. And you can look at the recently sold here. So this is something that I do like to look at. And we kind of compare this because, it'll show you it is not like there's a ton of these popping off every day. March 2nd, Feb 17th, Feb 7th, January 17th. That's 4 cards since pretty much the beginning. Well, 4, 8, if you go all the way back to January when they were still in the playoffs, 4, 8, 12.
Yeah,
12 of
there's
those
not many
sold
people
this year.
buying those cards right now. You would have to
Yeah.
figure they're probably buying more the base versus the orange refractor or any type of refractor right now. Usually people go right. I mean, even when I go to buy a card, I go right to the base card as opposed to the parallel or the refractor, even though sometimes the parallels or the refractors are actually a good price.
Would you rather have a base PSA 10 or a short print parallel raw for, say, if they were both the same price? Like, if it was a base Prism PSA 10 for $100 or a raw Prism logo parallel for $100, which one would you rather have?
Ooh, the for sure thing with the PSA 10 already in the slab. That's something that's hard to pass up. But short print parallels are really nice cards. So depending on the condition of the card. But I don't know. I'm all for anything in a slab. So I think I'd have to go with the card inside the slab.
Do you think that because PSA has increased their prices recently on all tiers, like since the Nat Turner finalization, the acquisition, and the price hike across the board on all their services, do you think that's going to increase the resale value of cards that are already graded at PSA 10?
Should. you technically would think that that should happen. Now, if you look at some of the PSA 9s, and I did actually a video about a week ago on Starstock, there are so many PSA 9s right now for around $29, $39 on Starstock that you could pick up, and that's the price of the slab. So I think there's a lot of PSA 9s walking around that are underpriced, and I do think that it's got to be baked in somewhere along the way that that's got to go up a little bit, the price of that card inside that slab.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just because I think less people are going to submit cards now to PSA, which in turn should, kind of maintain or, kind of level out I've heard reports now that their backlog is like upwards of 10
10
million
million?
cards.
Yeah.
Crazy,
I think Ziggy
man.
said something about that. And here's something that I seen today. I don't even know if it was on one of the videos that I watched, but an HGA Luca optic
Okay.
in a in a 9 case sold for $300 versus a Luca optic PSA 9 for less than 200. So you can see as collectors are paying for these HGA cases. So like you say, PSA, everybody likes PSA, but now it was HGA going to be the guy going forward? Can they keep up with production? Now, there have been a couple mishaps with prints lately. I seen a PSA 9.5 slab with a 9, a 9, a 9, and an 8.5 grading. So they had a few quality control issues come out, and they had a couple of cards come out that were quality control problem. But I would have to think that PSA is going to always stay strong in the industry. Always people like that case. Now with HGA's new case coming out, that could be a new case that people be chasing.
Yeah, I like the HGA case because my favorite part about it is because they color coordinate the slab with the team colors, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like the best of both worlds. You're getting a grade, you're getting the card when you want it back because they guarantee their turnaround times, at least right now. You're getting color coordination with the team colors. You're getting all 4 grading criteria put on the front of the slab. I mean, and you're getting that serial number with it. It's like I've seen them pick up big time in the market.
I really think as far as a collector, somebody that has for their personal collection, like I would even think about taking my PSA cards and doing a crossover and changing them to HGA. The slabs are beautiful.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, as for your personal collection, if you're pulling out the card to look at the card, it looks more eye appealing, I believe, in that case versus a PSA slab. I love the PSA slab, but as a collecting standpoint, I mean, you buy the card because you love the card, the colors of the card, or the design of the card. You imagine having that beautiful case around the outside, and I think that's why somebody paid $300 for that Luca optic case. It was a beautiful blue case with that blue card. That's like eye candy for your collection. The case is such a pretty case. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I'm sure that there's people that are going to hate the case out there. I'm sure that it's a new company. We don't even know how strong they're going to be, how long they'll be able to hold up in the industry. But they are darn cool looking cases. They are fantastic looking cases. I mean, if you put up a regular PSA case, and I mean, everybody's gotten used to that red, the red on there. And sorry, I grabbed the LeBron James, but everybody's used to that red up there. But think having some beautiful colors up there, it's a minor adjustment on the card, but a big deal, I believe.
So JJ Bama thinks HGA is cool looking. He's not sold on their long-term value though. And Ziggy actually came with a really interesting comment here. The challenge with HGA is what happens in 20 years. If you pull
Absolutely.
out an HGA in 20 years, what will it be remembered for? Will it be around? But if you have a PSA in 20 years, regardless, they have the history.
Absolutely. And when SGC came out, when they started to grade cards with the black around the border, everybody liked those. Now everybody doesn't like those right now. So Ziggy brings up a great point there. Ziggy's a very knowledgeable guy in the industry too. In 20 years, HGA cases might not even be around. I'm not going to make the jump yet, but they are very nice looking cases. I do love the case.
So if you had to, so I guess this kind of fill us in here with everybody. I noticed you got an Eagles polo on there. If you had to pick one QB to invest in right now in the NFL for their based on what you think their performance is actually going to be in 2021, like not just hype, but actual performance in 2021, who is that guy that you're investing in that you're just absolutely 100% conviction, all systems go?
We've seen a little bit of two quarterbacks that are very exciting. Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. They're for the two guys last year. I know Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. We got to see most of him play for the whole season, but we didn't get to see. We got a sample portion of Jalen Hurts at the end. He can scramble. He looks good. I know that they benched him in that last game. Joe Burrow looked dynamite. Joe Burrow's in a bad system though. Jalen Hurts, I think, is in a system where you can actually do something really good. But those two players I'm looking at next year as there's going to be a lot of hype around those two players. And, of course, Taylor Lawrence coming in. Now, Justin Herbert won the Rookie of the Year. He's already at that level. There's going to be a lot of hype around Jalen. Justin has that level. He's already there. He's got to have the same type of season that he had in the first year for his cards to sustain the prices the following year and not take a drop. Now with Wentz and Jalen Hurts, their prices are fairly reasonable right now. So think about what they get in the systems that they're in right now and they start to do well in their system. I think that they can actually go up. Burrow, his cards are high right now. Jalen Hurts, I think, is the guy that we have to look as our option to buy his card at a deal right now. With him having a good season, his cards can actually do very good. He's got that Konami code, like you say, right? He's young. He's electrifying. He throws the ball. He runs the ball. He's kind of Kyler Murray-like. So he's an exciting player.
Yeah.
Same with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, we've seen a little bit of what he can do. He actually looked pretty good. He has a nice delivery of the ball. I like quarterbacks.
Hurts. Yeah, I'm super bullish on him. Super bullish on him, man.
Yeah, I like Jalen Hurts.
He's a stud, dude, and his running capability, pretty good deep ball. I mean, I'm really excited to see what he does in 2021, but I think it's going to be incredible. I was kind of hoping you would answer Jalen Hurts with the Eagles polo.
I've always followed the Eagles. I like the Eagles. I don't know. Donovan McNabb when he was there, Sean McCoy. So I've always followed the Eagles. We had Deshaun Jackson. He was on a couple of my fantasy football teams. He actually was one of my fantasy receivers that won some of my fantasy football leagues for me. So love that guy. Love fantasy football.
Yeah, man. I got to shout out JJ Bama here because I also believe that Mac Jones is one of those guys, even though he's coming from Alabama and he just won that championship for Alabama and he had a really good Senior Bowl and everything. I think he's going to slide in the draft just because of how deep the quarterback class is. And I think Mac Jones is a guy like Tom Brady where it's like you look at him and he doesn't look that athletic. He doesn't look that special, but it's the intangible items. It's the leadership. It's the decision-making under pressure. It's the accuracy of his passes in those clutch situations. And this guy, Mac Jones, is really, really good in those situations. And I think Mac Jones is definitely a sleeper.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of players next year. So Mac Jones absolutely is going to be a great player too.
If there was so let's translate fantasy football to football card investing and flipping. If there was give me one running back and one wide receiver that you think that you're going to be able to draft this year in the second, third, maybe fourth or fifth round that you think is going to perform like a first rounder and going to have the hype like a first rounder that you think makes an incredible buy low football card investment right now?
Higgins.
T. Higgins?
Yeah, wide receiver.
I like
Cincinnati Bengals. Burrow is going to be hitting him. I think there's nobody else to throw the ball to out there. Big receiver, great hands. He had a great year last year. I really like him. I really like him. I really like him to have a Jefferson type year.
Ooh, a Jefferson type year.
Absolutely. Burrow, I mean, Burrow was throwing the ball 50 times a game at some points. Think of the numbers.
Yeah.
And think they're always going to be behind in games. They're always going to be playing catch up in the fourth quarter. Of course, he's got to stay healthy. Of course, and if he can make it back, can he come back and play?
Oh man, I hope so.
Look at that, 6'4", 216. He's got the build.
Yeah, he's got the build, and those numbers for his athletic metrics are not accurate because of the COVID scenario and the lack of combine presence. So let's go over here, and I've actually watched some film of this guy from college because of what he did last year. Incredible. He's definitely taking strides to replacing AJ Green as the alpha in that offense.
AJ Green I think he's had too many knee injuries. He's not going to be able to be as strong.
I'm totally with you there, man. I think AJ Green is pretty much dust.
I had him, about 6 years ago on one of my fantasy teams. He got injured. So usually when the wide receivers, when the knees start to give them trouble, they're not going to be able to produce week in and week out. You could say they need those knees.
Have you seen the new 2020 NFL Select?
No, I have not.
So this is interesting. Panini has actually added a fourth tier. You know how the last few years they've had
2021. There's a fourth. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a fourth tier. It's
Wow.
being released right now. I think it just released in hobby, and it's coming out in retail here at the end of the month. Shout out to Michael Ham. He's on point with those retail releases. And so it's got Concourse, right? The most common. And then it's got Premier, that second tier, which is typical. But now they've got a third tier in between Premier and Field Level called Clubhouse.
Ooh.
There's going to be 4 tiers.
Jeez, what's Panini doing to us, huh, you guys? Jeez.
Trying to get that money, man.
Man.
So
but we know that this year they're going to be overproducing cards too. So, like, the odds of getting certain, scenarios and packs with parallels and things like that, it's just harder to get good pulls out of packs. So, geez.
I've got a question for you. Maybe you know this, or maybe someone out there in the audience knows this. The difference between an optic rated rookie preview and the actual optic rated rookie, is there an actual, because I have not seen any cards uploaded to Starstock that just say optic rated rookie. They all say optic rated rookie preview, and I'm wondering if there's a difference maybe in some small print on the back of the card, something that distinguishes a regular optic rated rookie from an optic rated rookie preview.
Ziggy may know that. He's usually on top of that stuff. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, I'm curious, because if so, I'm wondering if Starstock has been uploading cards to the optic rated rookie preview, even though optic is like out full blown, for the last month or so now, and it's loaded. Like, it's a very loaded product.
JJ says yes.
It's the same?
Yeah, JJ says yes.
Okay.
But they're doing it. There's some good deals on him in there, though, in some of his cards.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up his print. I'm like going back and forth on his overview, but I need to actually pull up, because you can see here nobody's been buying his A's on here. It's probably because so Tuesday, March 2nd for 18, 10, 10. I feel like this is a card I should probably look up on eBay. I personally really like the optic.
Oh, look at that recent spike there. What was that?
There was a recent spike.
Yeah, look at that chart there. Is that Starstock A? Yeah, it looks like it shot up from I can't see very good the chart there.
Yeah, that was March 2nd, so it's not a whole lot of volume really going on this guy. I mean, there's a little bit, but I like that because what I've seen is though is if there was a good player from last year, they're all really kind of trending upward right now. I think you have several reasons for that. You've got hype leading into free agency, getting
It's too
ready to
much.
kick off. You've got the
I've been
draft
looking.
coming. You've got additional stimulus checks now coming, tax returns, etc. So you've got a lot of investing taking place, and we still are living in this COVID world,
Yeah, it's one thing I did when I was doing some research today. I was looking at some of the football, and some of the football is still quite high. Some of the prices are still. I mean, they're looking at it like they should be dropping, and they're not dropping. So there is still money being pumped into football. The funny thing is the shift to vintage, and some of the things that there's still some football cards that are still. You would think with the shift to vintage that would have fell off. The football cards that would have stopped thinking about them, but there's still a lot of interest there.
so we can get some 2020 optic T. Higgins. I definitely like the pick. Joe Burrow's not, especially after his knee was shattered last year. If he does come back this year, he's going to be throwing the ball within a matter of milliseconds after he hikes it.
Yeah, JJ, at 4,000 per box. Their chat's talking about $4,000 per box on the NT football.
On the
It's
what?
crazy. Yeah. Well, Ziggy put a comment in up there. It's like 4,000 per box.
4,000 per box for what? Select?
Yeah, I mean,
or National Treasures?
National Treasures football.
Oh,
so
that makes sense.
I mean, what are you getting? I mean,
Oh,
$4,000. It's cardboard picture. I mean, what are they putting? What are they baking in there? I mean, Jesus.
This is
$4,000. I mean, who could buy that? Who could buy that? I can't buy that. I mean, I live in Costa Rica and I make, guys, I don't want to tell you my salary, but geez, I'd have to work a whole year to buy that. Sorry about that. I'd have to work quite a bit to buy buy something that expensive.
That's crazy, man. And well, what I'm noticing here, Thomas, kind of on that same theme as the box prices here, I'm noticing a ton of sealed wax optic being sold right now on eBay. Look at all these. This is all March 11th. I mean, this is just March 11th, and it's almost all blaster boxes, mega boxes. This is incredible. Look how much sealed wax of optic is, because I think
that's a blaster box for $74.
Let's see.
24 cards. Yep. Is that what it says? Yep. 24 cards, $74.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a ton. It's loaded. It's
Ziggy,
loaded,
you come to Costa Rica, I got you, buddy. You come down here anytime you want.
Wild, man. That sealed football wax is going nuts right now on eBay. But then you look up his Prism, you don't see any sealed Prism wax being traded. I guess that's because it's been released now for a couple months. Very interesting. I don't really know what to spend my $120 on Starstock.
In football right now, everything is, how you would say, so high.
What about Tua? What about Tua Tagovailoa?
I was looking at Tua too. I think he's still on Starstock. He's still quite expensive. I actually picked up a mosaic. I actually sent it for grading. Picked up his 2020 mosaic.
2020 mosaic base?
Yeah, I picked up his base, but I think I may have been the last person to buy the card on there. There hasn't been any sales on him. So I picked up a base Tua on Starstock. I picked up the Starstock A and I sent it last month to grade it. Reason I'm a Miami Dolphins fan and I like Tua, so my computer just shut off. I'm trying to get my computer back on, so I lost a live feed on my computer.
I'm a little nervous about this guy. I think this is a great price point. I found a base Prism T. Higgins for $749 on eBay, free shipping, but the seller, Davin Mackey, only 98.8% feedback positive. And so I guess that definitely makes me a little bit more nervous. Like someone who hasn't done that much with negative feedback at all makes me a little leery. But
he has a negative feedback.
I mean, 98.8.
Could have been a shipping issue or something like that. One feedback will drop you down a couple of points.
But I like the price point on this guy. I don't know if this
$7.49. That's a great price point. Now, say Justin Jefferson's Panini Prism selling for right now.
Let's see.
See the level. Let's see the level. See where could that card go to? That $7.49 card. Say, can he get to the level of Justin Jefferson and play lights out next year with Burrow throwing him the ball? Can he get to that level of Jefferson or close to that level of Jefferson? Say a Justin Jefferson should be selling at, you would say, $25 or $30 right now. I haven't checked, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, T. Higgins on Starstock anyway. Starstock A is just under. Oh wait, I'm in my offers now. I'm in my collection. Let's see. Justin Jefferson from the homepage should be pretty high. I would anticipate here based on risk 10. Mosaic 10. I've noticed the Mosaic's been kind of trending down in resale value. Canvas.
I think that I can't stand that with Starstock where you don't put the exact right typing in and it doesn't come out.
Nobody's even selling any of their Starstock A's, Justin Jefferson Prisms anymore.
They're all gone? Oh, there's none on there.
Yeah, there's some on here. There's 13 in the vault, 0 for sale. Latest sale of $42. So it's double of what the Higgins is on here.
So that Higgins card has some room to grow.
Sure, especially when you can get it for $7.50, and if you get an A on that, then yeah, you hit a home run.
Yeah, I tell you, I picked up some Colin Sextons a couple of months ago, right before the NBA season started, and I was high on him. Just watched a couple of videos and seen how he played. I picked up some raw, and they all four got A's when they hit Starstock. And it took them forever to get there. The prices went down and went back up, but I got one left, but I sold them all, made a great profit on those.
Check this out. Tua prices, Starstock A, even in October when he started getting the starting job there, 29 is where it maxed out at, and then it kind of dropped because the coaches were really trying to win there. You know, when they were putting in Fitzpatrick at the end of the games, and people really didn't understand what was going on. They thought it was because of Tua's performance, but it was really just their desperation to squeeze any little inch they could just to win and get in the playoffs and, you know, make it to the Super Bowl. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, he's literally no fear, nothing to lose, journeyman, the league for 20 years.
The Fitz Magic, man, I've watched him play. I watched him play quite a bit, man. He's fun. I've actually had him on some fantasy teams. He can score you some points sometimes. Couple 1 week flyers too.
But this is a buy to me. Like this $23.99. And I made a post about it the other day. I guess I should have bought some when I did because it looks like those.
And it went up.
It looks like some people acted on the post that I made, but for good measure. I mean, he was so underpriced. I mean, look at that. Tuesday, March 9th, you could have bought his Starstock A based on us for $16.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great price. Yeah.
$16 compared to Herbert's at 80. Burrows are at like 40 now. Jalen Hurts are close to 40, and Tua's are at $16. It's like
And
I know there's some speculation that the Dolphins, but you're a big Dolphins fan. You follow them pretty religiously. Do you think they're going to draft a quarterback?
no, they're going to stay with Tua. They have to. I mean, they invested a lot in him. They got to stay with him.
You got to give them a proper chance, right?
Absolutely. The guy is good. I mean, we've seen what he did in Alabama. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, let me ask what you guys think about the mosaic football from last year. Like, look at the mosaic there. If you can click on the mosaic and compare it to the price of the Donruss, what do you guys think in the chat? Let us know. Do you like Donruss better than mosaic, or do you like the mosaic? I like the mosaic card because I like the shine. It's a real pretty card. Now, I know there was some quality issues with mosaic and stuff like that, but the mosaic cards look real pretty.
I agree with you. I like it too, but I think that long term, maybe it's gonna do okay because it was kind of like that card set born in 2020 and COVID time period. But I think short term, I still think that anything with that rated rookie logo is going to be more demanded and therefore get
Yeah,
a higher resale value.
even with the shine.
Even with the shine, I think people are going to go to a rated rookie of some variation. They're going to go instead of a mosaic. Now that optic's out, they're going to go to a base optic. I think the majority of people would rather have a base optic of Tua because it's got that rated rookie logo on it than the mosaic.
And then with that, like, I like the mosaic because it has the color in the background that matches, like that turquoise green in the background matches nice.
I know, I like that. And it kind of reminds me of a 2014 Prism, which whenever I polled my Instagram community, that one was voted the best design out of all the Prisms going back to 2012. I didn't have 2020 on there, but the 2014 was voted best design, most
Okay.
favorite.
Yeah, there's something about that rated rookie. It's on the baseball cards too, so it's something that we've been following for many years. So, but yeah, I'm looking at two of that card that you picked out as a good buy.
Yeah, so I think I'm maybe just buy that. I mean, so if you have a base Donruss at right at $20, and for an extra $3 you can get a Donruss canvas, wouldn't you think that the Donruss canvas is a shorter print variation? It's got a little bit of shiny because they do that bronze in the lettering of the rated rookie and the bronze in the lettering of the Donruss logo at the bottom.
Yeah, for $3 more, I would say it's not that big of a difference in price. It's a better card too.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna show his optic. Holy crap. I mean, the optics
Nice
are
call, JJ. Yeah,
$20.
I agree with you too on that one. I think the
What is-
optic just edges out the mosaic.
Yeah, I think
Thanks,
optic is
guys.
gonna edge out mosaic. I think
Thanks,
because
guys.
especially now you got select coming out.
Now, is Select going to be retail this year? I heard
That's
that
what
they're
I've
going to put
seen.
Select
That's
in
what I've
retail.
seen, and that's what I've heard. And the expectation talking to Mike
Well,
Ham.
it's Panini, so for sure they're going to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. 19.
Yeah,
See, there's
I've
so
actually
much lower supply.
that card that you're looking at. I was actually looking at that card the other day.
This is the canvas. It's got that. I
Yeah,
like the texture better. It's also got the bronze kind of shiny there and the
it's a nice.
name and the logo and everything. As I look at this, look, dude, I buy the $23.99, I buy the 25, then it jumps up to 50. Now I know there's a few in the vault, so somebody else could be holding those. But there's only 19. So I take two, now there's only 17 left. That's a pretty low supply. Now, this is an entry level set. I guess you could say a base paper set, but the canvas is not base paper. It's got an additional texture to it. It definitely got some some chrome, some metallic, look to it. So a little bit of shine.
Andy, I think it's a good buy. Sometimes I do this, Andy, and you could maybe even do a quick flip on this one. Do you see the price difference when the 2 to the 1, where it goes from 23 to 50?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I've actually on Starstock bought the lowest price card because the next listed price card is so high. And I bought the card and listed it in between the two prices and actually sold the card. So like say the card is, I bought the card at 20, but the next one is listed at 40. So I buy the card at 20 and list it at 30, and I'll sell it overnight. I sometimes look on Starstock for deals like that. Where I'm looking for the next offer, like if the next card is, there's too big of a gap of a price. I bought a Zion Williams that way too. I was like, that Zion Williams has got to go up. So I bought it, and the next price that was like $150, I bought it at like 80. It was like $150, and I listed it at like 105, and I sold it. Because the next price that it was listed at was too much. So the one sale caused the next sale to go. You know what I mean? It was within a ballpark range. I don't know. I'm thinking that even buying both of those, you could list one for 30 or 35. You know what I mean? And leave the other in the vault and leave the other one in your collection.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I just put in 2 offers for 2 offers at $20 each. We'll
and
see
they
what
should
happens.
go. They might go before the end of the day or before the end of the video. I've seen people jump, like when I put an offer in, they'll buy that, or they'll take that offer 5 minutes later. They get the alert on the phone if they have their phone with them.
I'll let you guys know if I get it accepted. Let's see, Canvas. Let's just see what that card is trading at on eBay here. Okay, $17.95. Buy it now. So we're looking very comparable there. $50, 21, 25. And that's the thing, you've got to take into consideration that it's a coin toss whether you're going to get an A or a B, really. And we're right in line. I mean, I'm right in line with that, even at the $23 price point.
Yeah, and guys, when you buy an A off of Starstock, somebody's actually looked at that card with somebody like us that says, oh yeah, that card's got a bad corner, or there's something wrong with it, that actually will classify it as a B. So if it's classified as an A, they looked at it as there might be one little thing wrong with the card. And of course, now when they're putting a card in A right now, they're grading cards and they're under the gun. They want to make sure that they're getting a lot of good grades back on their card. So if they're giving you an A on a card, they're pretty much guaranteeing you a 9 or a 10. And I feel very confident when I buy an A off of Starstock. I mean, I bought a couple of cards just recently from CompC and sent them home, and I was amazed by the condition of the cards. I bought a Stadium Club Bo Bichette paper card, and there was no whiting on it. I was amazed by the quality of the card.
All right, so I put in 2 offers at 20. I'm seeing a $15 buy it now. Actually, last time I tried to buy a card, I just brought up like all my personal information. Hopefully I got out of it quick enough. But you guys are all good people. So, but it's like the bots and stuff from
Andy just sold you the card. JJ's on there. Plot twist: the $23 Tua was Andy's. That's
and he
funny.
Just sold it to you.
It's probably Ziggy's. Is that what he meant? Ziggy's got like 2,000 cards. I heard him say the other day on here.
Wait, Gaming God's not. Oh, Gaming God's notorious for sniping me, man. He loves sniping me. It's fun. We got a game going because I think I've sniped him on ComC before. I'm going back and looking at all the comments now.
Yeah, I've been checking in the comments. Yeah.
You guys are funny, man. That's good stuff. All right, so I want you with all your experience, Thomas. I really appreciate you coming on tonight, bro. And guys, you can find Thomas at Costa Rica Card Collector on YouTube. And Thomas, if they want any of this custom artwork done for themselves, like you did for Brad, how how can they go about reaching out, finding, you know, what you charge for that kind of service, and, you know, all the specifics?
Well, anybody can just email me to my email address. If you want to pop my email address up there on the screen, it's thomastheartist@yahoo.com. I don't have a website. I've just been working through word of mouth. When I was a mural artist and I worked in Miami, I worked word of mouth. I did one work for somebody, and somebody liked it, and somebody else wanted one done. So I went around that way, and it seems to be a work for me. So guys, if you're really interested in any of these paintings or anything that I've done, I really enjoy doing them. I'll throw one back out there again. You can actually see the ones behind me, but this recent one that I just did with the Ronald Acuna Jr., I did that for $200, you guys. I could do prices like that down here because of my income down here. I don't need to make a lot of money. My salary down here is very cheap. Of course, something like that with the quality like that, I could charge $500, $600, $700 for something like that. I spent about 30 hours doing those to do the best quality I could possibly do. Doing them custom for anybody that wants them. I'll do your favorite player for your, you know, your man cave. You can see I got mine behind the wall behind me right here. They look awesome. I've been printing them about 18 by 20. Hook me up.
But you also have, do you have like a vector file or a high res JPEG or PNG file that you
It's exactly what I do. I'll send you a digital file so you could print it, and you could take, I mean, you could print it on any of those online sites. You can get your t-shirt printed. You can get cups printed, anything. I was supposed to have a t-shirt for the video to show you guys a t-shirt. They can even use your company that you're using to get your printing done and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, these T-Public, it's nice
T-Public,
quality
that was it.
Apparel. Yeah, they made it very easy for me too. You know, it's nice. So did I get your email address right, Thomas? thomastheartist@gmail.com?
It is, well, it's thomastheartist@yahoo.com. That's it. You got it.
No, I didn't. I put Gmail.
No, you got it. No, Ziggy's got it up there the right way. Ziggy put it up for me.
Let me go back to Ziggy's comment. Thank you, Ziggy.
Ziggy, you're the man. Hey, let me tell you, when I started in the industry, or not in the industry, when I started watching videos and stuff like that, I caught Ziggy. I caught Brad's videos. I caught some other guys' videos. But one thing that I really liked, and I'm glad, Ziggy, that you're doing your daily video again. We really appreciate you and the community. I don't know if I'm probably speaking for a lot of us, but just catching his daily show in the morning, just it kind of makes you feel like, yeah, I listen to Ziggy. I know what's going on. Keep it up, man. Well, Ziggy has been, how you say, awesome for our card community, and that's something we always call it here, the card community. With a lot of my friends and that we talk and chat. But the camaraderie that we have and the friendships that we've made in the community is something that some of this should last forever. Even if the cards go away and we don't have cards, we're still going to be friends here in the end. And Ziggy, we really appreciate you and glad that you're back doing the videos every day for us. And
yes, sir.
Andy, I'm sure I could speak for you too. You like watching Ziggy every day. There's a lot of other people I'm sure that like to watch Ziggy every single day. So yeah, JJ, I'm working cheap, bro. It takes me about 25, 30 hours to do those, and I do them for about $200. But I really love what I'm doing. I have a passion for the art. I really love doing it. So just to keep me going and being able to paint and do the art, I charge $200 so I can get that next job. So looking forward to somebody hitting me up and doing the next one.
So if I wanted a Tom Brady in the Bucks uniform, kind of like that Tom Brady downtown card that I saw earlier, you could do something like that?
Absolutely, guys. I've been a painter for 35 years. I can do anything. I don't think there's anything that I cannot do. I'll find a way to put it together and make it work. Ziggy, no, that's from my heart. I just seen something there about Ziggy. Ziggy, it's the truth, man. You're amazing. And if nobody knows who Ziggy is, get over and watch his show and give him some subs. This guy, he should be up to 5,000 subs by now. He's a awesome guy in our community.
All right, so let's in the name of Ziggy here, because Ziggy's he does some really good giveaways. I'm giving away some retail product tonight, guys.
That's right, the giveaway. Let's go.
Yeah, fat pack of Donruss and a value pack of Contenders. And the question is up to Thomas. Thomas has got the question for you guys. Whoever answers it correctly first wins the double whammy.
All right. The backup when Saquon Barkley went down. Ready? Who was the backup running back? That's the question. First one to answer wins it.
I love it. Dude was a get that Aguayo.
Those are nice packs given away, guys.
Funny, man. Gaming God coming in.
We got a winner. Gaming God, LJ. Aiken came in right after that, so I guess you had to be right on the feed. So congratulations there. Good answer.
Luke, appreciate you, bro. Come on, my Giants. Yeah, Gaming God Jackson, big Giants fan. Let's go. Get that Aguayo painted. Yeah, that PSA Dino, dude. I've saved that cardboard slab that you sent it in because I'm going to reuse that for somebody. That was epic. That was so good. JJ Bama is our community comedian. I think that guy, I know he's an IT guy. He's probably super analytical and smart, but dude, he's witty, man. He's got some funny jokes. Bo Jackson. Cool. Jackson, I think I've got your digits already, brother. I'm going to search my email. I think you won one before. Slayton, I don't know the question. Darius Slayton. No, I think the Giants are due for a big upgrade this year, wide receiving. I think they're going to take a wide receiver round 1.
Good call. Absolutely.
Yeah, I put a few $100 at least into Daniel Jones. He was so cheap, man. I've got some pretty nice slabs coming in an upcoming mail day here from Daniel Jones. And, dude, I've got this huge package here. This is a big box from ComC. I cashed out a bunch of cards. And there's some what I consider vintage in here. Vintage bucks, anyways. And modern, ultra modern. A lot of rookie cards. There's probably like 40 or 50 cards in here in this package from ComC. I'm going to be filming that tomorrow morning along with the Contenders Mega Box that Kino donated. Kino sent me. Gracious for all the content that we've been putting out. And I've also like really taken the feedback to heart. And so I've made a list of different questions. I'll kind of give you guys real quick before we sign off, kind of give you guys a preview of what's to come. You know, talking about this question is the shout out to Kino right here. His idea on this is once you target a player specific card, how much do you buy and sell it for? You know, kind of like your price points of entry and exit, which we've kind of touched on tonight. But his example was like, okay, you've narrowed in on Christian McCaffrey. You want to get his Prism. You know, you want to get his Prism. They're all silvers in that year, but still he has no idea of what to use a good price point to buy at. And so there's some tools like eBay recently sold, Starstock, sales history chart, ComC's sales tool, and even tools like Market Mover or some of the other ones that give us really good intel on a good price point to buy in at and sell at. Just looking at history. And then this one is Leonard at Voodoo Rage on YouTube, but he's primarily active on Instagram, SportsCard716. And it's kind of like his question was, how does he set his max investment price for raw cards? You know, taking the difference between raw cards and slabs. So I definitely want to address that because I hear that a lot about, you know, when you should pay up for a card, like when you decide to go ahead and spend $100 on one card versus 10 cards for $10. That's a critical component of the process, you know? And if the scarcity is there around a card and it's a 1 out of 20 or whatever, there could be a considerable price increase in that resale value because of that scarcity if they do good, because we have tiers of investors at every level, you know? Yeah, another guy, Yo Mama's So Fat, 1 new subscriber. Shout out to you, bro. he had a good question about selling lots versus singles on eBay and what I've seen the results be. And like I mentioned to him in the comment, that I've seen lots sell pretty successfully compared to single cards. I've seen sometimes lots go for even more, especially if you have some of these lesser known sets. Like if you have a bunch of absolutes or rookie and stars or some of these lesser known sets, I think it's better to sell them in lots because you really are targeting that guy who's a diehard collector of that player, and maybe they want to dabble in investing or flipping, but they haven't seen my videos and comeback card investors videos, right? And so they're like, okay, I see there's a lot of cards, boom, jump on that, and you can get a higher resale value that way. So yeah, I got a few more. John Warda, shout out to him, figuring out the best time to sell. And his comment was, he has a fear of missing out on waiting too long to sell. And so his fear of missing out is in selling too quick or waiting too long and missing out on the peak price points. And my thought process is don't get greedy. Once I've eclipsed like that double my money range, I'm ready to go ahead and I'll take someone's deal and figure out another buy low opportunity in the market I can put that into. But these are all great video topics. David Hunter, always, dude. David Hunter, you guys want to learn a lot, you just go through the comments and look for David Hunter and look at his comments on our videos here. They're incredible. And some of them he's mentioned comparing, a great way to compare. And I think you mentioned this, Thomas, that I learned from you as well, is compare a PSA 8 or a PSA 9 or a PSA 10 to a raw card to get a gauge of what you're looking for in a raw card when you're shopping on eBay.
Absolutely.
Specifically. So I'll just kind of give you guys a heads up. And of course, we got mail day. We got the draft. We got free agency coming up. We got other guest appearances coming up. It's exciting, man. It's full steam ahead right now. It's exciting. We got a lot of stuff going on in football cards. Excited to have everybody here. Jackson, congratulations on the win. Thomas, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
I'm going to be reaching out to you offline about that Tom Brady downtown.
Absolutely.
Because I would love to get me one of those to like maybe put up like a decent sized one, and then put it on a t-shirt. That'd be awesome, man.
I would love to do something. You guys, anybody's interested in getting something done, you just let me know. I'm more than happy to do something for you. And we'll talk about price. It's negotiable. And you guys have an awesome night.
Well, you won tonight, Jackson. So congrats again, brother. You guys, I'll see you guys in that next video. Peace.